Hello everyone, I want to tell something for our assignment. There are almost no issues where I don't understand both sides, but there is one exception: the death penalty for murder. Here, the gulf is unbridgeable between those of us who believe that some murderers, and I emphasize this, some murderers should be put to death, and those who believe that no murderer should be put to death. And take this example. On the afternoon in July 23rd, 2007, in the town of Decatur, Connecticut, two men broke into the home of Dr. William, his wife Jennifer, and his daughter. The men beat him near to death. One of the men raped the doctor's wife, and then they struggled, Mrs. and killed those daughters. Those opposite to capital punishment believe that these two may have the right to keep their lives. So, is there anything a person can do to deserve the death penalty? To those opposite to capital punishment, the answer is no. In fact, many opponents of capital punishment believe killing murderers is same as to killing murderer. Many opponents equate the murder of an innocent family with putting the murderer of that family to death. It is easily proven. Imagine that the punishment for murder were the same as the punishment for driving over the speed limit. Wouldn't it be a little murder that by cheaping human life? Yes. Security teaches us how bad actions is by punishment is mused out. And what about the pain inflicted on loved one of those murdered? Their suffering is immeasurable, increased knowing that the person who murdered their family member or friend, and who in many cases inflicted unimaginable terror, is alive and being cared for. Putting the murderer to death doesn't bring back their loved one, but it sure does provide some sense of justice. And what about opponents argue that an innocent person may be executed? This argument may be sincerely held, but it's not honest, because opponents of capital punishment opposed the death penalty even when there is absolutely proof of the murder's guilt. Now, with DNA testing and other forensic tools, it is virtually impossible to execute an innocent person. But some people believe only God can take human life. There is no religion of which I am aware ever made this claim. Do you really believe that tutorials, rapists, the murderers of William's people, wife and daughter, and some evil people like them deserve to keeping their lives? If you are like most people, your answer is no. Death penalty, also known as capital punishment, execution. It is one of the oldest punishments in the world, in which the executioner takes the life of an inmate based on the power vested in him by the law. The death penalty is one of the important conceptions in the common law. Because of the preciousness and non-producibility of life, death penalty has become the most severe penalty method in the penalty system. So, it is also called the capital punishment. The prisoner concerned who are subjected to the method of deprivation of life, and usually those who have committed serious crimes locally. Although the definition of serious crimes is often disputed, the countries that currently have the death penalty in general, the murder is one of the most important grounds for conviction. The death penalty. China's current criminal law maintains the principle of retaining the death penalty and strictly controlling its application. At present, the execution of death penalty in China is generally divided into two cases: immediate execution and 2-year reprieve, which is death penalty with reprieve, and the death penalty is strictly controlled and approved. Now, let's discuss whether the death penalty should be abolished. Firstly, the unjust case is inevitable. Secondly, the death penalty still exists. Thirdly, there are always people who get killed. The inference in logic is as follows. The first point is the law of criminal procedure law, because people's cognitive ability is limited. There is always a gap between legal facts and objective facts. Therefore, no matter how conscious the judicial system is, there may be misjudged cases. In order to prevent the third point of wrongful killing of innocent people, and the first point is that the law cannot be changed. Only the second point can be changed. There is only abolished the death penalty can prevent wrongful killing. Most of the countries that abolished the death penalty are European and American countries, and they generally believe in Christianity. A very important concept of Christianity is that human beings are created by God, and the right to life is endowed by God, and no one or any institution has the right to deprive others of life. Because of this, Europeans and American countries believe that even if the perpetrators are heinous, should not exercise the power of God, because we are not God. In the eyes of European and American countries, the premise of international homicide is that we have no right to deprive others of their lives. If one person kills another and we are sentenced to death, are we guilty of international homicide? Does it violate the promise that we have no right to take someone? And this is the logic of the certain American country. From the practical effects of abolish the death penalty, the abolition of the death penalty has not led to a sharp rise in crimes, which indicates that the death penalty is not necessary. The so-called human rights reason is that people have the right to live, which no one can disprove it. Human life is given by God. No one has the right to deprive anyone of life. Only one can decide whether one's life exists or not. In the past, the deprivation of human life by legal means was not aligned with the development trend of civilized society. Thanks for your listening. Thank you very much.